Hey guys, welcome to this month's new moon pick a card. Now we are in the midst of eclipse season, so this one should be fun. And my pick a card readings we do every month. We look at what the upcoming lunar cycle has in store for you. Also, it is becoming progressively more difficult for me to find things to have you choose from that are kind of similar but also different. Today, we went with jars of things. So I have red sandalwood powder, mistletoe, and smudge ashes because I collect the ashes from my smudging. So anyways, figure out which jar resonates with you and then find the timestamp below for your reading and then we'll get into it. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the red sandalwood powder jar, then this will be your reading. Also, this is only relevant for you guys, but I am intermittent fasting right now, and I only have like 20 minutes left to get the rest of my calories in for the day. So I'm gonna down a smoothie during your reading. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep my health and weight loss plan in mind while also producing content and keep my life all in balance, which is gonna mean that you guys are gonna have to watch me drink a smoothie. So sorry. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, well, I would say love is certainly at the center of it. Good or bad is still to be determined. Okay, I think overall what we're looking at is okay, so I'm guessing that for those who are in pile 1, there is a lot of heartache and stress around romantic love interests. And it looks like it's caused a great deal of sleeplessness and anxiety. I think there is an offer coming in. I think for a lot of you, man, hold on. There might even be 2. For some of you. I think there's a small subgroup of you who have 2 love interests vying for your attention. One you want to offer to or have an offer from, and the other one coming back, like reuniting. There's a delay though. It's just so complicated. It looks like a very complicated situation. Your bottom of the deck energy is the 10 of Swords in reverse, so generally fucking just painful. You have the Ace of Cups clarified by the 9 of Swords in reverse, which is going to be just sleepless pain over an overflowing amount of love that you have. Then there's the Knight of Cups clarified by the 10 of Pentacles, which shows a really beautiful offer, a substantial, long-lasting offer. But then immediately thereafter we have the Knight of Wands reverse sitting on top of our 4 of Wands, which is clarifying Temperance, which shows patience in face of a delay. But then we also have this Knight of Swords rushing in, but it's being clarified by the 8 of Cups, which is walking away. But the way that it feels, like the way that I'm looking at it, like the way my eye is drawn to it, it's like a loop. Like you can see the guy in the red cloak walking this way, and with this above it, it's almost like he's walking away to come charging back. Does that make sense? Like he's walking away from something to come charging back to you, or this Knight of Swords is a very, very impulsive, fast-acting card. And it's almost like there's all this delay and all this tension and all this pain, underlying pain. For some of you, I think there's 2 offers. I think it's going to be a very, very small percentage of you. But I can feel like the undercurrent of that. But I think for the majority of you, it's like this delay of this really substantial offer, which is then very quickly remedied. Like, there's a delay and it hurts and it's painful. I'm going to clarify this. I'm actually going to use this deck. That makes sense now. I'm going to clarify it, but it looks like there is a delay of this message, and it's a very painful, very uncomfortable cycle that has been then an impulsive decision is made. Then we have the Six of Wands, which is victory. And this deck is called Believe and Succeed. This is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle by John Holland. It's like a tarot oracle hybrid almost. And we have, yeah, it's such a mixed bag. Ugh. There's like so much love and also so much pain. Emperor, Third Eye, Five of Swords. You also have the Eight of Swords, which is helpless and hopeless, and the Five of Swords, which is a lot of mental anguish, conflict. It's almost like there's conflict between multiple people. You're also being asked to teach by leading. Teach by leading the way. Teach the lessons by leading the way without speaking. Allow your vibration to speak for you. It looks like it's going to be a very tumultuous month, and I think there is an undercurrent of like hope and also pain and suffering and like, oh, there's 3 knights on your spread. You've got the Knights of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Wands in reverse, which is pretty fucking crazy. I do think there's a percentage of you with multiple possibilities or options vying for your attention. Some you may need to walk away from somebody to get with somebody else. Some people may be walking away from somebody else to come back to you. And some of you are just waiting for this tried and true commitment, but it's been delayed. I think the group that's watching this video, there's a myriad of romantic complications occurring within the group. Again, this is general reading, so it's not specific to any one person, so there's a lot of different kind of energies and messages all coming through simultaneously. In general, though, it looks like for everyone watching this video, there's going to be this kind of push and pull in your heart space and conflict regarding romantic interest and romantic love that is going to generally be fucking painful. But for a lot of you, I think it's going to end in success. I'm going to pull in their spread. Funny, I cut it directly on the Three of Swords and the Knight of Swords, by the way. Heartache and that knight rushing in again. Well, we were only missing one knight and we got him. So, the bottom deck energy is Knight of Pentacles reversed, which is, again, it's that same energy of a delay of messages. I kind of want to get up and go put some agave in this. It's so not delicious, which is unfortunate because most of these smoothies are good. This one's not. Just need to get it down. Okay, so we have some repeat cards. I also am very keenly aware that this doesn't usually happen, but in this particular instance, I'm very keenly aware of the alignment that's happening. I don't know. I can't see the shot I have in the camera, but I don't know if you can see this pile as well, but there's some really noticeable alignments happening in the rows that I can see. So the first one is Ten of Pentacles that we had here. We have another Ten of Pentacles right below it. This time it's reversed, being clarified by the Four of Pentacles. This Knight of Wands reverse is being clarified by the King of Wands, the Ten of Cups. And then this walking away Eight of Cups is being clarified by our Eight of Swords, which is also right here. This is also the Eight of Swords card. So we have the Eight of Swords below the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles below the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Wands below the Knight of Wands. We have the last Knight we didn't already fucking have. And this is also notable to me. The Seven of Swords being directly below the Nine of Swords is also something that I'm very keenly aware of. I'm not usually My awareness is not usually focused at all on the way that these bottom cards align with the top row, although this is generally how I read. But in this particular instance, I am feeling like a continuation almost of the spread. So, the first thing that comes to mind is I think on some level or another, a lot of you are being asked to use the power of discernment for your spiritual development in this particular instance. For those of you who aren't sure if you should be involved with this person or that person, or accept this offer or that offer, or if you're not sure about the intentions of a person, or if you're not sure if you should leave somebody, or whatever the romantic complications are, of which I can see there are many in this fucking spread, you're being asked to use discernment, because not everybody in your circle necessarily has the best of intentions. We have the Seven of Swords clarified by the Judgment card, and that's what that's saying to me. Like, Seven of Swords is all about kind of nefarious intentions or sneaky behavior, that kind of thing, jealousy, envy, etc. And then the Judgment card is really a very spiritual calling kind of card. And having this all happening the way this feels is like you have this Ace of Cups, this anguish, this sneaky behavior, and then this spiritual calling. And it's almost like your heart is full and yet you're in pain, and there's some nefarious activity or another, something that's not serving your best interest, and spirit is calling. And it's very much this, like, you're being asked to use and leverage the powers of discernment, knowingness. Hold on. For those of you who are new here, my camera only records for 20 minutes at a time. So my alarm on my phone will go off every 19 minutes, and then I have to get up and reset the camera. So when it cuts in and out like that, sorry. Now, what I was saying was, I think you're being asked to see through your heart space and understand and feel through your heart space in order to, like, the cups, the Ace of Cups, using your heart and your emotions to really tap in and use the powers of discernment for making decisions in order for you to develop more spiritually. You also have this Ten of Pentacles being upright and then being in reverse. I'll admit, a little confusing for me. But when I look at the top and bottom that sandwiches it together, it makes a little bit more sense. So the top is the Knight of Cups. Then we have that Ten of Pentacles, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles again in reverse, followed by the Four of Pentacles. And Four of Pentacles is all about your stability. Fours are all about stability. They're all about foundations and stuff like that. So this is about feeling secure and feeling stable and feeling grounded and feeling secure in an offer, in a relationship. Do you feel secure? Do you feel that the offer that you're considering giving or getting is grounded and has the longevity? Ten of Pentacles is all about, like, long-lasting kind of what's the word? Heirloom? No. When somebody dies, they give to their loved living descendants money. It's a word. Oh, fuck it. I'll come up with it later. Anyways, it's all about kind of passing on and holding for the long haul, right? That's what we have here, the whole energy that's happening. And there's upright and reverse. And this is all again next to that Seven of Swords. It's about using your powers of discernment to know what is true and what is real. Then we have the delayed messages. We have Temperance, Patience, the King of Wands reverse, which is on top of the Four of Wands. Now, I don't use this word very often for reasons that I'm sure I'll eventually make a video about. Like, I'm sure I'll eventually talk about this topic, but for now, I'm just not going to do it. But the Four of Wands is typically seen as one of the twin flame cards because the wands in the image creates an 11-11 and twins are mirrors for each other, blah, blah, blah. So the fact that there's a delay in messages and there's a request for you to be patient up here, then that delay is sitting on top of it's like hiding this Four of Wands, this celebratory harmony and coming togetherness, right? That is then clarified by the King of Wands. The King of Wands is like passionate, fiery, like entrepreneur type, like self-made motherfucker, right? Like that's the person who has just spirit and fire and, you know, doesn't really ever give up. That's being clarified by the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is, it's like the Ten of Pentacles, but it's the emotional side of it as well. It's like the emotional fulfillment, the longevity, happy. Like on the card, it literally shows two people together, encircled by a rainbow, watching children play in the yard. Like it's literally that happy harmony card. Again, we have that discernment and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Ten of Cups upright with the King of Wands. And there's like this delay of messages and using discernment to what offers there. There is somewhere in here, there's a really fantastic, beautiful, wonderful, harmonious, soul-matey kind of connection happening. And then we have the Knight of Swords with the Eight of Cups, what we had before. Then we now have the Eight of Swords, I'm sorry, Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is sitting here. Eight of Cups, Eight of Swords. Queen of Pentacles reverse with the Strength sitting on top of it. And this is, honestly, it's kind of just the insinuation that there's the delay, maybe, or not the delay, but to have two Eight of Swords here tells me that there's a lot of mental anguish. Like there's a fear that needs to be overcome. It's when a decision looks like it's impossible, where you feel like you can't do anything, you feel trapped, you feel hopeless, you feel like you can't get out of the situation you're in. But in actuality, it's just your mind that's imprisoning you. You're not actually trapped. Like you can make the move. You have the strength to overcome. There's the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to clarify it actually before I speak on it, because I don't want to say the first thought I have. Because I don't want to make insinuations. I'm going to clarify it. Five of Cups. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think in my last pick a card, pile one was also this weird romantic pile of people who needed to end relationships or blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I clarified it and I got the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is it's about crying over what you've lost, and I think that might be the mental impression that we're experiencing here. The Queen of Pentacles being reversed is kind of this like it's the shadow aspect of the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is, when she's in her power, she is a, you know, giving, nurturing, motherly, home taker, like she's very grounded, she's very practical, she's very loving, she's very giving, and when she is in her shadow element, she can become kind of cruel and ruthless, and there's some shadow elements here, but the Strength card is on top of it, and it's almost like either you're being asked to overcome those shadow aspects and use the strength within you to overcome those aspects within yourself, or you're being asked to recognize them in another person. Additionally, we have the Five of Cups here, which is all about kind of, it's the traditional understanding is like when you've lost something and you're so focused on what you've lost that you can't see what you still have. And that may be why the Queen of Pentacles is in her reverse. She's not, the energy is not in its element because it can't focus on what it has. It's not grateful for what it has. She has, whatever. I'm going to clarify these further. Okay, that shouldn't be upright. Lover's card is also somehow flipped, but we're going to ignore that for the moment. Ace of Cups. I mean, yeah, these are very much like, these are like stereotypical love cards. It's almost obnoxious. Yeah, just gonna take the top one. It's the Ace of Cups, Two of Swords, which in this deck is refusing to see. Again, there's that discernment idea. There's options and there's a need for discernment. Then we have the Empress, which is the divine feminine. She's the embodiment of divine feminine energy. Three of Wands, take the lead. Oh God. That one was on me. The fourth, that was me. Four of Pentacles, yes. Opportunity beckons, and the Death, release. Yeah, so there's something that needs to be released. There is an opportunity for great, tremendous love available to you, for a nurturing, either to come in union with your divine feminine or to embody the divine feminine, depending upon who's listening and what you identify as. And then there's also the request for you to take the lead, to release what no longer is serving you. The fact that the top cards on both of my clarifiers, I create little pyramids when I clarify my cards. The pyramids help me to like channel all the energy into one centralized message. On the first pull, our clarifier was win or lose. It's the Five of Swords. It's a lot about, it's kind of like, at the end of the day, someone has to lose, or everyone has to lose, or like, it's just the way that it's going to go. And then on the bottom one, it is the Death card, which in this deck is called Release. And it's a call for you to release what's not serving you. There is a huge opportunity that you are, quote, refusing to see for love abound. And you're being asked to use your discernment for your spiritual development in this particular matter. Now I'm going to move on to Oracle cards. All right, Oracle cards. All right, we have a time for healing, balsamic moon. Confidence is your key to success. I think that's a pretty important message. It at least feels that way. The idea is that, again, you're being asked to lead and use your discernment. Confidence is going to be the key. You also got a time to give rather than take. So make sure you're giving enough in your relationships. And conclusions are within reach. And the card is full moon eclipse, which, eclipse season, am I right? I'm also going to get, let me get some of these. I'm just starting to use these cards. I used them in a couple of readings yesterday, and it went well. I've used them for myself, I think, twice. So we're gonna try them out today. This is the Moon deck. It was a gift somebody sent me. I want to say CJ. Thank you again. I originally thanked when I made my video, but if you're still watching, CJ, thank you for these cards. Or maybe we're not going to get any. I could cut it, but I'd rather not. That's what I thought. Thank you. Can I get one more? Okay, that one. We have healthy boundaries keep me centered and balanced. Again, it's that idea of discernment we coming back to. There's multiple people in your sphere. We got all 4 fucking knights here. So, discernment. And I am of the earth and in harmony with nature. That just sounds to me like a message to, if you need to spend some time in the discernment process, to go out in nature. Go out and sit in the trees. Like, go sit with trees and consider how you want to move forward with your relationships at that juncture. I'm going to use these. I don't usually use these as oracle cards because I use them as tarot cards typically, but we're going to go ahead and pull some of these. This is the Psychic Tarot Oracle by John Holland. It's basically a tarot deck, but there's no court cards in it, and it has the addition of 7 chakra cards. I really like it. We have that Foundation card again, the 4 Pentacles again. Look for stability. Memories of love. Again, that's that nostalgia. I keep feeling it. Like with that walking away card and coming back and returning to somebody energy. This is like that same energy. For some of you, this is about returning or the return of somebody from your past. It's nostalgia. It's a nostalgic love. It's destiny. That's the card that came out. There are challenges and obstacles for you, for the both of you, to achieve this, but you're being asked to do so, for sure. Let's grab some unicorns, and then I'll grab some Universe Has Your Back cards, maybe 1 Lemurian, and we'll be done. Oh. I'm trying to keep my readings slightly shorter. I think I ramble a bit too much in these videos, so I doubt I did that today. I'm sure it's just as long as it usually is. Can we have a unicorn for our pile of 1 people? Can we have some helpful advice and guidance, significant keys and synchronicities for them? Please and thank you. Okay, okay, that's a lot. The first one that came out was Goddess. Honor your divine feminine energy. See your inner beauty. Love every part of you. We had that divine feminine already here. So for a lot of you, this is a request for you to honor your divine feminine and look into your divine feminine energy. We also have magic. Make a wish. Believe in miracles. Magic surrounds you. It makes me think about that imprisonment cards we had twice. We had 2 8 of Swords in here where you feel like you can't move forward with whatever, but you can. Miracles surround you. It's up here. Patience. Pause before you take action. Trust that divine timing is at work. Be patient and play whilst you can. We had that delay multiple times. Like, that's what I think is going to be happening for you over this next cycle, is there's this kind of push and pull and delay and like hurry up and wait kind of energy. And the last one that came out is miracles. Have faith that your miracle's on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. Now, we're going to grab you a couple of Universe Has Your Back cards. Actually, I don't even want to grab those. I don't. I just want to get a Lemurian card. That's what feels right. So we're going to do that. I'm going to pull you, theoretically, 1, maybe 2 of these. This is the Lemurian deck, but this is the pocket version. And I kind of like it because it just has artwork on one side and then the message on the back. So I will read you your message or messages, depending on how many come out. I'm going to aim for 1. I got a feeling there's going to be 2, though. Okay, that's 3. That's 3! Alright, well, aren't I wrong? This is a lot to read, so we'll just do it, though. Okay. The first one that came out is the Sound of the Universe. This card signifies those pivotal moments that transcend belief, remind us of a greater reality, and influence us so that life will never be the same again. It symbolizes the sound of the universe. Having your world shaken up even a little can invite a closer glimpse of the great mystery of life. There are myriad ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and creative pursuits are just a few. Aim to imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Listen for the hidden music, harmony, and wonder of your multidimensional world. You guys have 3 messages, so we're just going to keep going. The next one is surrender. Trusting that we can achieve more by loosening control can take great courage. Sometimes the most constructive way forward is to stop forcing things into being. Rather than allowing, inviting, and drawing a project into being, the energy here is of frustration, as if you are pushing something heavy up a mountain and gravity or flow doesn't seem to be on your side. Use this awareness as a guide when you start to detour from your path. When control is released, so too is resistance. Loosen your hold on the reins and know the universe will catch you. Trust, let the great mysteries reveal themselves. And the last one, oh, it's so cute. Trust your inner sense. And this is the one that I think is the most important, because this is what makes me feel like that discernment that it keeps coming through. Sometimes it can be harder to decipher between intuition and what our mind is telling us. Stories, projections, or fear can arise under the guise of intuition. To distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence, to our purest essence. Here we have access to the truth of our being. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It is also about not withholding and having deep transparency, not withholding. That's interesting. And having deep transparency within yourself. Learn to trust and be absolutely honest with yourself. In your heart of hearts, you hold the answers. Notice the first thoughts you have before you second guess yourself. Listen and honor these. So that's your reading, guys. I don't feel like I was particularly clear for you. Very sorry. In general, it looks like you guys are on a fucking roller coaster of romantic fuckery. And I do think that success is at the end of it. There is a lot of delay, but oh, right underneath that is the world. Oh, and the lovers. I think that you guys are on your way to a very beautiful situation, but there may be a bit of healing and a little bit more transmutation that has to occur, and primarily discernment. You are being asked to use your discernment and to take the lead. Primarily, there's a lot of nostalgia. There are obstacles, but you have to overcome them mentally. And that's your reading for today. Don't forget, if you resonated with this, to hit the like button, comment, subscribe. These kind of interactions really, really help me. And in the box below, I have an absolute shit ton of links for all kinds of things. So check that out if you're interested in knowing more about what I have and what I do and blah, 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 those things. You can book readings with me personally if you'd like, but I am booked off for the next few weeks, next couple or so weeks, just because I have a lot of shit going on right now and I'm just not available. So, but feel free to book for in the future. And I hope you guys have a wonderful lunar cycle. Bye. Alright, if you chose jar 2, the mistletoe jar, this will be your reading. Okay. First of all, this is a group reading. This is a collective reading. So that means that these messages aren't specifically for any one person. There will be messages in this reading for you, but the entirety of the reading may not necessarily resonate with all people. Additionally, do not take anything that I'm about to say with absolute certainty, because it's a general reading, not a personal reading, okay? That being said, if it is you, you'll know it's you. That's for you, KK. Some of you either have recently, going into this cycle, or are currently about to endure heartache on account of some infidelity, perhaps. There's a strong cheater vibe happening right now. Now, that's not the entirety of the message. That's the part that I feel like I want to address right now. And I just want to say that if that's you in this group, this is for you. This reading is for you. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Now, if you're not in that group, that's totally fine. There's other things here. But I felt very called to immediately address that And I'm not sure why. It's not my business to know why, but that's what I felt like I had to do. So for those of you who are not in that group, that's fine. Don't freak out. It's okay. Now, the first thing I noticed is that we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck and the Emperor also in the reading. To have the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine in one reading is pretty impressive. The first message that comes through is, we'll get to that. First message that comes through is that you have patience right now and have balance within yourself, because your wishes are coming true. They are happening. They are coming to you. It looks like the process to those wishes may be a little uncomfortable, but you have the first two cards are Temperance and the Nine of Cups. I remember when I first got this actual deck of cards, this very deck, I got when I was 12 or 13, 30th birthday, something like that. And when I was reading the little book that came with it, which I did, cover to cover, this was my favorite card. And I used to, what I read in the book was that every time you shuffle the cards and go to pull, you should make a wish. And if this card comes out, it means you're getting your wish. And that was my favorite thing to do when I was young, was try to make wishes in my tarot cards and see if I could get this card to come out. This is the Genie card. This is the Wish card. This is the Wish Fulfillment card. That's what this card is all about. It insinuates that the Genie is here to make all your wishes come true. This is clarifying, though, Temperance, which is about patience and balance. So, yes, the things that you desire, the life, the feeling you want, is coming to you. That is occurring. And that's the first message that came out, followed by some discomfort. And I think that it's important that I tell you that, yes, this cycle is upcoming. This reading feels to me like it's a longer term cycle. This reading is intended to be for just the next lunar cycle, but this feels to me like it's seasonal almost. This almost feels like a spring to summer vibe. And I don't like to give time frames on readings because time's not really all that real to begin with, and it's hard to discern, but this feels longer term to me, this process. There is a lot of pain, either currently or upcoming, and that pain, for those of you who it is not a cheating situation, is going to be on account of nefarious, ill-intentioned people or person around you. Sneaky behavior, sneaky manipulative behavior. Oh hey, I just hit my calorie goal for the day that I burned by sitting here. Fantastic. So that is a thing that's going to happen, and when that occurs, you're being asked to lead strong with your masculine energy. We all have feminine and masculine energy within us, but we have the Emperor here being clarified by Justice, and that's on top of and kind of hiding the Chariot in reverse, which insinuates a delay. I'm reading that as a pause, that before you take this direct assertive action, you take pause, because there is a desire or a request for you to find the balance, right the wrongs, and insert justice in your own life. For those of you who it's a relationship reading, justice can sometimes insinuate like legal matters, like divorce, things like that. So that could be possible. There's a subgroup of you who may be encountering some infidelity, and you're being asked to go ahead, make the call, pause for a second, but do the assertive thing and do the divorce. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you, stranger through the internet camera, like, hey, whoever you are watching this, divorce your spouse, because that's terrible fucking advice on a general reading. However, for those of you that resonates strongly, that's for you, and this is a message for you to be like, yo, file those papers. Okay? However, the undercurrent here is the Empress, which is the divine feminine. The divine feminine's greatest strength is the strength of unconditional love. Those who strongly carry the divine feminine energy are capable of unconditional love. And there is a call or a need for you to be able to hold that within yourself, for yourself. Additionally, we have the six, I know I skipped this row, but we have the Six of Cups reversed with the Ace of Swords reversed. And this very much just feels like a missed opportunity. It's honestly, this happened last time I did this too, where there was some similarities between pile 1 and pile 2. This is happening again a little bit, where for this one, there's like a missed opportunity for perhaps reunion with a lost love. And that may be creating a lot of heartache. And in some instances, there may be a nefarious intention to go back. And in that case, you're being asked to be assertive and do what needs to be done. But again, unconditional love is the undertone. For those of you who that's not the case, it's not about reuniting with a lost love. It just simply is a missed opportunity for clarity in regards to the reconciliation of a relationship of some kind. I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifiers now to get more information out of this pull. And for those of you for whom it is not, well, I would like to say for those it's not a relationship that's in question here, this doesn't feel relationshipy at all. Like the Temperance, Nine of Cups thing doesn't feel relationshipy to me. Like this feels relationshipy, and then this and this doesn't. And I don't really know why. I'm sure that as I dig into more cards and pull more cards, it'll make more sense, but it feels like your wishes are coming and that there's some relationship situation, some karmic pattern that is being resolved or needs to be worked through in order for the manifestation of your truest, highest wishes and desires to come forth. That aren't necessarily, those desires aren't necessarily relationship specific. It's just the relationship is acting as a catalyst of some kind. So we have Seven of Wands, which is called Stand Your Ground in this deck. The Five of Swords, which is called Conflict and Defeat. Temperance, again, Solar Plexus Chakra, the Universe, which is the World card. And then the Four of Pentacles, no. Yes? Four of Cups. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Four of Cups, which in this deck is called Discontent and Boredom. Now, there's an issue upcoming. There's some kind of challenge, right? There's a conflict. It will probably involve multiple people. You're being asked to hold your ground and be firm. It may appear as if it's a difficult battle that maybe you can't win, but you absolutely can't. When the Seven of Wands comes out, it's one of my favorite cards, and it talks about how a battle can look unachievable, it can look unwinnable, but in actuality you have the high ground and it's a very easy battle. It just looks like it from your perspective. So you're being asked for whatever conflict comes up. Again, there's that patience card again. There's the Temperance card about being well-tempered, being patient, being balanced. So don't get hot-tongued, don't get short-tongued, don't get too testy. Go ahead and pause and take a second, regroup yourself, and then assert your will. We have the Solar Plexus Chakra, which is actually partially sitting over that Emperor card again, and the Justice card, and the Patience card. It's about asserting your will. There's a general overall feeling of discontentment occurring in some relationship or another. It's interesting that I'm having 2 relationship readings. It doesn't always happen. I don't like 3 relationship readings, if I'm honest. It's kind of like my least favorite kind of reading. I like spiritual development readings. That's my thing. Shadow work readings. That's what I love. But this very much feels like a little relationship reading. And there's a general feeling of boredom and discontent and dissatisfaction. Like the universe is trying to offer you something and you're so just dissatisfied with everything that you're not even paying attention to what you're being offered. You are nearing the completion of a cycle, though. Getting very, very close to completing a very, very long, very, very, very long journey. You just need to get kind of this last push. I feel like I say this every fucking month. I feel like this is this message that happens all the time where it's like, you're so close. You're so close. Keep going. I hope my encouragement is enough because the World card always insinuates the completion of a cycle. I would be surprised if on the next new moon pick a card you didn't get like a new beginnings, Fool card, aces kind of thing, because it really feels like you're very close to this beautiful new cycle. It's going to bring you all your hopes and wishes and desires and things which are coming. You're being asked to be well-tempered, loving and patient, but do not back down. Stand your ground and assert your will. Seven of Wands again. Do I want to separate those? I do want to separate those. That feels right. Six of Cups again. Three of Swords again. 3 out of 4 of these are duplicates. If you're new here, my camera only records for 20 minutes at a time, which means every 19 minutes my phone goes off and I have to get up and reset the camera. So hold please. As I was saying, 3 out of 4 of these cards are repeat cards. Hey, there's that Fool card I was just talking about. I knew it'd be coming soon for you. Oh, 7 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. Queen of Cups reversed. I'm going to clarify that one. Can we clarify the Queen of Cups? You know I don't like core cards. One more. Okay. If you watch really closely, feel free to rewind. 2 cards came out, and I was like, fuck this, I don't want another court card. And I put it back in, and then I wanted another card that was like, bitch, we gave you another card, and you didn't take it. Take it now. It was the King of Wands. I tried to put it back, and I was like, I don't want this one. And they were like, fuck you, take it. So, my bad. Okay. We have this whole fuckery that I'm just going to leave until it makes sense to me, because it doesn't quite make sense to me yet. But I'm sure that as I start to channel through it, it'll come together. Let me get some water. I'm fucking thirsty. Seven of Wands, which is that stand your ground card again. It's the card about, in this deck, it shows a woman who's like in like a meditative fucking pose with her head turned, like, I don't give a shit. And there's the 6 wands that are attacking her, but they can't even really reach her. That's the idea of the 7 of Wands. It looks like a 1-on-6 battle, but they ain't got shit on you and it's nothing, right? It's about, all you have to do is stand your ground in the situation and you're good to go. Now, that is being clarified by that Fool card that I knew would be coming for you soon, because you already had the World card. If you're not familiar with tarot, let me give you a short little synopsis. The major arcana, the Fool to the World. Fool's card number 0, the World is card number 21. Everything in between that is the Fool's journey. That's the concept behind the card. It's an archetypal energy. The Fool is the beginning on a journey. It's the birth. It's a new cycle. That's what it is, right? When the Fool embarks on his journey, each card along the way is a different phase, a different archetype, a different energy that the Fool goes through to complete his journey of ascension before he then becomes the Fool again and starts a new process, a new journey. So, because you had the World card already, I was like, you should be getting the Fool soon. You should be getting like a new journey, right? You are very close to beginning a new journey, and I think this is that. Like, I was going to say, remember in the beginning when I said this feels like a longer term thing? It's not that this is a longer term thing. It's that this right now is the ending of your cycle. The long term that I'm feeling is the new journey you're embarking on. Ha 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 ha. Makes sense now. However, in order to take that, you need to stand your ground, but don't be foolish. The Fool's reversed. When it's reversed, it can show a carelessness, a foolishness. Literally being a fool is what happens when it's reversed, right? You be careful when you stand your ground that you're not just being, oh, I thought if the word came in. It came in and it zipped up very quickly. Yeah, nope, it's gone. Make sure you're not just being like obstinate. Stand your ground with, again, patience and love. That seems to be a message I have overall. In order for you to transcend this final stage and begin your newest journey, you're going to have to do so from a place of love and understanding and compassion. Stand your ground and assert your will, but don't do so in a way that lacks compassion. We then have that Three of Swords again. This time it's being clarified by a Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is another card about patience, right? It's, yes, your heart is healing. Yes, there's wounds that have to be tended to. It's going to require some patience. We then have, again, that same card about nostalgia. There's that, which is being clarified by a bunch of conflict. I do think there's a subgroup of you, maybe not all of you, but there's a subgroup of you who are considering, and this was also, if you resonated with pile one, like if you debated on taking pile number one or this one, and you're in this thing, I would suggest you just go watch pile one. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to just keep beating this horse in this reading because I already did that fucking reading. If you kind of felt like maybe you would get jar one and also you are debating on returning to like an ex, or you can't stop thinking about an ex, or there's like a nostalgic love that you're missing and yearning for, but there's a lot of conflict in order for you to achieve that, just go watch pile one because that reading already fucking happened. And that's my advice to you. I'm gonna leave that be and hopefully not have to say it again. But it's coming through again. So I don't know why, but that's where we're at. That being said, regardless of that, I think a lot of you are having this, when we begin to move into a new phase of our life, we can sometimes get nostalgic about the past when we only ever, unfortunately, we only ever really truly appreciate what we have till it's gone, right? It's only in our reflection of our earlier years that it becomes so beautiful. When we were in it, it was terrible. And there's a lot of this, like, there's a lot of remembrance, actually in this case, like a lot of remembrance is about the pain. I think a lot of people are remembering the pain and conflict that has brought them to where they're at. And it's creating a, yeah, I'm just going to cut that. There's, there's a lot of people who are potentially just stewing on the past and stewing on what has happened, and it's making them hold tightly to their things. And there's a call for you to let go of an old version of you. Let it die so you can become somebody new. There's a tendency in some of you to emotionally manipulate people around you. Maybe that's even subconscious. Maybe you're like, fuck you, I don't do that. But you might. shadow work is going to be the key to that. Let me say this, if you're a woman, most certainly you have and or do. And that's not a dig at women at any stretch of the imagination. It is a survival technique that we have as a gender kind of mastered. Like, we're physically smaller and physically weaker, and so, but we have like sex appeal and this kind of like dotty innocence. And while that is not true to our essence as women, we have leveraged the patriarchal, I can't say that fucking word. We've leveraged that and used that as a mechanism to manipulate people because we have found that works for us. It's been a survival mechanism for us for a very, very long time. Now, I don't know why I'm giving this fucking tangent, but I feel like somebody needs to hear this. Now, you have to become aware that you're doing it before you can break it. Period. We're good at it. Specifically, I mean, lots of people do this, for sure. It's not just women specific, and I'm not trying to be like, whatever. But women in particular have really mastered the emotional manipulation strategy. And there is a need for you to become aware of it within yourself or those around you so that you can begin to overcome that, let that version of you die. And then in this new cycle, you're being asked to show up as more of a King of Wands energy. The reversed Queen of Cups is the emotionally manipulative person. And that's being clarified. It finally made sense at the end. Told you it eventually. The Death card, you're asking to let her die for your own stability and sanity. In order for you to have the stability you want in this new cycle, you're being asked to let that die so you can show up more as a King of Wands. King of Wands is fiery, assertive, entrepreneurial. He is a go-getter. He is spiritually in tune. Like, you're being asked to let that part of you go and embody. Remember, we have that divine feminine as our underlying current originally. That's unconditional love, but you're going to have to overcome your own bullshit in order to do that. Additionally, the bottom of the deck of this, bottom card from this deck, and I almost feel like this one underneath it too. Yeah. Bottom of this deck is the Eight of Wands in reverse, which is more delay cards. You have a lot of kind of delay-ish. Do you? That was the last reading. Why did I forget that? Do you have delay cards? No, but you're being asked to pause and be patient. That's what it was. You're being asked to pause and be patient and take a second. And there's delays. There are delays occurring, but you're going to probably have to do a little bit of inner work on maybe a tendency to be emotionally manipulative. How are you manipulating people around you for potentially the gain of material or financial stability? We have Strength, which is called Power in this deck. Solitude, which is the Hermit. Whoa. Two of Pentacles, movements, choices, and decisions. It's more about balance. A lot of balance cards. A lot of balance cards. High Priestess, intuition. Three of Wands, partnerships and alliances, and your base chakra, which makes sense if you're on a new journey. So, use you have options for potential alliances and partnerships, and make sure that you are leveraging your inner knowing, your intuition, external intuition, your internal knowingness, to make those decisions, and maintain balance. There's a lot of cards about balance here. And also, make sure your foundations are very stable. I think this cycle for you is going to be a lot about balance and solidifying your foundational stability, if that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to start pulling you some oracle cards, see if we can get some more information. Same card that came out first for the last reading. Hold your vision, which is, again, we had 2 of those 7 of Wand cards about standing your ground and being firm in your will. We also have hold your vision here. So whatever it is that you are being challenged on, don't back down. Also, though, in that foolish warning, we have don't let pride get in your way. So you want to hold your vision, but you don't want to be obstinate. You don't want to be too prideful. You don't want to be foolish. Make sure that you're doing so in a balanced, loving, controlled, temporal fucking way. And you're very close to achieving your goal, which is where this reading started. Like, everything you want is fucking coming. Give it a second. Be patient. This cycle is really about you and your ability to kind of maintain your own center, maintain your own inner peace amongst conflict, to be able to assert your will in a loving way, to balance your feminine and masculine energies, that kind of thing. And to make sure that you're using both your inner wisdom as well as your intuition. We also have my home is a sacred space full of beauty, inspiration, and protection. This reminds me immediately of that 4 of Pentacles, as well as the root chakra card that we had. Make sure that your home feels safe and sacred to you. You're being asked to make sure your foundations are good. As you start this new cycle, your foundations are very important. My emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. This is very much a feminine card. Again, it's about feminine energy. This is where we started at with this bottom of the deck card. Your emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. Honor the cycles you're in. There's a tendency in the society we live in to look at things from a very masculine energy. I'm not sure why this is the tangent that we're going on for this reading. That's what we're doing. It's linear, it's logical, it's like go, go, go. We have this capitalistic mindset of working consistently and da-da-da-da, but you have cycles that you go through. Everyone does, and it's totally okay to honor that. Make sure you're honoring the cycles you're in so that you can best put your foot forward and achieve what it is that you'd like to achieve. As I was saying, 3 out of 4 of these cards are repeat cards. Hey, there's that Fool card I was just talking about. I knew it'd be coming soon for you. Oh, 7 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. Queen of Cups reversed. I'm going to clarify that one. Let me clarify the Queen of Cups. You know I don't like core cards. One more. Okay. If you watch really closely, feel free to rewind. 2 cards came out, and I was like, fuck this. I don't want another core card. And I put it back in. And then I wanted another card that was like, bitch, we gave you another card, and you didn't take it. Take it now. It was the King of Wands. I tried to put it back, and I was like, I don't want this one. And they were like, fuck you, take it. So, my bad. Okay. We have this whole fuckery that I'm just going to leave until it makes sense to me, because it doesn't quite make sense to me yet. But I'm sure that as I start to channel through it, it'll come together. Let me get some water. I'm fucking thirsty. Seven of Wands, which is that stand your ground card again. It's the card about, in this deck, it shows a woman who's like in like a meditative fucking pose with her head turned, like, I don't give a shit. And there's the 6 wands that are attacking her, but they can't even really reach her. That's the idea of the 7 of Wands. It looks like a 1-on-6 battle, but they ain't got shit on you and it's nothing, right? It's about, all you have to do is stand your ground in the situation and you're good to go. Now, that is being clarified by that Fool card that I knew would be coming for you soon, because you already had the World card. If you're not familiar with tarot, let me give you a short little synopsis. The major arcana, the Fool to the World. The Fool is card number 0, the World is card number 21. Everything in between that is the Fool's journey. That's the concept behind the card. It's an archetypal energy. The Fool is the beginning on a journey. It's the birth. It's a new cycle. That's what it is, right? When the Fool embarks on his journey, each card along the way is a different phase, a different archetype, a different energy that the Fool goes through to complete his journey of ascension before he then becomes the Fool again and starts a new process, a new journey. So, because you had the World card already, I was like, you should be getting the Fool soon. You should be getting like a new journey, right? You are very close to beginning a new journey, and I think this is that. Like, I was going to say, remember in the beginning when I said this feels like a longer term thing? It's not that this is a longer term thing. It's that this right now is the ending of your cycle. The long term that I'm feeling is the new journey you're embarking on. Ha 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 ha. Makes sense now. However, in order to take that, you need to stand your ground, but don't be foolish. The Fool's reversed. When it's reversed, it can show a carelessness, a foolishness. Literally being a fool is what happens when it's reversed, right? You be careful when you stand your ground that you're not just being, oh, I thought if the word came in. It came in and it zipped out very quickly. Yeah, nope, it's gone. Make sure you're not just being like obstinate. Stand your ground with, again, patience and love. That seems to be a message I have overall. In order for you to transcend this final stage and begin your newest journey, you're going to have to do so from a place of love and understanding and compassion. Stand your ground and assert your will, but don't do so in a way that lacks compassion. We then have that Three of Swords again. This time it's being clarified by a Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is another card about patience, right? It's, yes, your heart is healing. Yes, there's wounds that have to be tended to. It's going to require some patience. We then have, again, that same card about nostalgia. There's that, which is being clarified by a bunch of conflict. I do think there's a subgroup of you, maybe not all of you, but there's a subgroup of you who are considering, and this was also, if you resonated with pile one, like if you debated on taking pile number one or this one, and you're in this thing, I would suggest you just go watch pile one. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to just keep beating this horse in this reading because I already did that fucking reading. If you kind of felt like maybe you would get jar one and also you are debating on returning to like an ex, or you can't stop thinking about an ex, or there's like a nostalgic love that you're missing and yearning for, but there's a lot of conflict in order for you to achieve that, just go watch pile one because that reading already fucking happened. And that's my advice to you. I'm gonna leave that be and hopefully not have to say it again. But it's coming through again. So I don't know why, but that's where we're at. That being said, regardless of that, I think a lot of you are having this, when we begin to move into a new phase of our life, we can sometimes get nostalgic about the past when we only ever, unfortunately, really truly appreciate what we have till it's gone, right? It's only in our reflection of our earlier years that it becomes so beautiful. When we were in it, it was terrible. There's a lot of people who are potentially just stewing on the past and stewing on what has happened, and it's making them hold tightly to their things, and there's a call for you to let go of an old version of you, let it die so you can become somebody new. There's a tendency in some of you to emotionally manipulate people around you. Maybe that's even subconscious. Maybe you're like, fuck you, I don't do that. But you might. Shadow work is going to be the key to that. Let me say this. If you're a woman, most certainly you have and or do. And that's not a dig at women at any stretch of the imagination. It is a survival technique that we have as a gender kind of mastered. Like, we're physically smaller and physically weaker, and so, but we have like sex appeal and this kind of like dotty innocence. And while that is not true to our essence as women, we have leveraged the patriarchal, I can't say that fucking word. We've leveraged that and used that as a mechanism to manipulate people because we have found that works for us. It's been a survival mechanism for us for a very, very long time. Now, I don't know why I'm giving this fucking tangent, but I feel like somebody needs to hear this. Now, you have to become aware that you're doing it before you can break it. Period. We're good at it. Specifically, I mean, lots of people do this for sure. It's not just women specific, and I'm not trying to be like, whatever. But women in particular have really mastered the emotional manipulation strategy. And there is a need for you to become aware of it within yourself or those around you so that you can begin to overcome that, let that version of you die. And then in this new cycle, you're being asked to show up as more of a King of Wands energy. The reversed Queen of Cups is the emotionally manipulative person. And that's being clarified. It finally made sense at the end. Told you it eventually. The Death card, you're asking to let her die for your own stability and sanity. In order for you to have the stability you want in this new cycle, you're being asked to let that die so you can show up more as a King of Wands. King of Wands is fiery, assertive, entrepreneurial. He is a go-getter. He is spiritually in tune. Like, you're being asked to let that part of you go and embody. Remember, we have that divine feminine as our underlying current originally. That's unconditional love, but you're going to have to overcome your own bullshit in order to do that. Additionally, the bottom of the deck of this, bottom card from this deck, and I almost feel like this one underneath it too. Yeah. Bottom of this deck is the Eight of Wands in reverse, which is more delay cards. You have a lot of kind of delay-ish. Do you? That was the last reading. Why did I forget that? Do you have delay cards? No, but you're being asked. You're being asked to pause and be patient. That's what it was. You're being asked to pause and be patient. Take a second. And there's delays. There are delays occurring, but you're going to probably have to do a little bit of inner work on maybe a tendency to be emotionally manipulative. How are you manipulating people around you for potentially the gain of material or financial stability? We have Strength, which is called Power in this deck. Solitude, which is the Hermit. Whoa. Two of Pentacles, movements, choices, and decisions. It's more about balance. A lot of balance cards. A lot of balance cards. High Priestess, intuition. Three of Wands, partnerships and alliances, and your base chakra, which makes sense if you're on a new journey. So, use you have options for potential alliances and partnerships, and make sure that you are leveraging your inner knowing, your intuition, external intuition, your internal knowingness, to make those decisions. And maintain balance. There's a lot of cards about balance here. And also, make sure your foundations are very stable. I think this cycle for you is going to be a lot about balance and solidifying your foundational stability, if that makes sense. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to start pulling you some oracle cards, see if we can get some more information. Same card that came out first for the last reading. Hold your vision, which is, again, we had two of those Seven of Wands cards about standing your ground and being firm in your will. We also have hold your vision here. So whatever it is that you are being challenged on, don't back down. Also, though, in that foolish warning, we have don't let pride get in your way. So You want to hold your vision, but you don't want to be obstinate. You don't want to be too prideful. You don't want to be foolish. Make sure that you're doing so in a balanced, loving, controlled, temporal fucking way. And you're very close to achieving your goal, which is where this reading started. Like, everything you want is fucking coming. Give it a second. Be patient. This cycle is really about you and your ability to kind of maintain your own center, maintain your own inner peace amongst conflict, to be able to assert your will in a loving way, to balance your feminine and masculine energies, that kind of thing. And to make sure that you're using both your inner wisdom as well as your intuition. We also have my home is a sacred space full of beauty, inspiration, and protection. This reminds me immediately of that. Four of Pentacles, as well as the root chakra card that we had. Make sure that your home feels safe and sacred to you. You're being asked to make sure your foundations are good. As you start this new cycle, your foundations are very important. My emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. This is very much a feminine card. Again, it's about feminine energy. This is where we started at with this bottom of the deck card. Your emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. Honor the cycles you're in. There's a tendency in the society we live in to look at things from a very masculine energy. I'm not sure why this is the tangent that we're going on for this reading. That's what we're doing. It's linear, it's logical, it's like go, go, go. We have this capitalistic mindset of working consistently and da-da-da-da, but you have cycles that you go through. Everyone does, and it's totally okay to honor that. Make sure you're honoring the cycles you're in so that you can best put your foot forward and achieve what it is that you'd like to achieve. Elemental Oracle cards. Okay. Just a mess. Very slippy cards. Have the elements of fire, which the keyword for is ignition. Again, it's that solar plexus kind of fiery energy. The Emperor is a fire. The King of Wands you're being asked to start to embody more is fire. Magnetism, attraction. It's going to be about your inner peace, your inner balance is what's going to help magnetize things to you. Additionally, you have lake and plants, which is depth and growth. You're going through a period of growth for sure. You're starting a new cycle in which you will grow tremendously. However, it's going to be largely about your ability to kind of hold and maintain your inner peace. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be tired right now. It's not even late. I'm going to grab you a couple of oracle cards. Okay, that's not what I wanted to happen. Just going to ignore that. Okay. We have possibility. Raise your standards, elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential and imagination. Envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. How are these the same cards? I'm not even sure I've actually seen these cards before. I don't think I've ever pulled them myself, to be honest. So, unlimited possibilities, right? Maintain your balance, maintain your whatever, and it's gonna work out just fine. I'm gonna grab you, I think, one or two of these and then one of these, and that'll be it. All right, we have happiness is my birthright, and my energy creates my reality. What I focus on is what I will manifest. Make sure that you're not getting stuck in your bored, discontent energy. Make sure you're not getting stuck in your manipulative energy. Make sure you're not letting the conflict that's surrounding you alter your perspective. And happiness. Aim for happiness. If what you're doing or the relationship you're in or anything like that is not actually fucking fulfilling you, Change that shit. Life is too goddamn short for you to just be out here doing shit that makes you fucking miserable. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Fuck that. I shouldn't be so aggressive right now, but it just makes me crazy. I see so many people who are just fucking miserable. And then I'm like, why are you miserable? And they're like, well, this, and that. And I'm like, so if you consider changing those things? And they're like, no. Okay, well, I don't really want to hear you complain about it then. Like, it's so infuriating to me. I don't want, no, I'm not taking that many. Oh, I already have two. Two's done. Okay. Done with that tangent. I got you 2 Lemurian cards. This is the Lemurian deck, but it's the pocket-sized version, which I love because the messages have been shortened and they're on the back, so I can just read them to you. You have Earth Star Chakra, Initiation. That makes sense. Again, new journey. You are standing at a gateway into the unknown with trust in your heart, ancient remembering in your soul, and inner illumination to light the way. You have access to the seat of creation, the spark of existence, and the codes that hold the blueprints of who and what we are. This place is clear and grounded. Despite moving through multidimensional realms and able to bridge worlds while functioning in physical reality, the higher you reach for the divine and the realms of spirit, the more important it is to anchor deeply into the earth. Again, make sure you're grounded. Make sure you've got, where did it go? I lost it. Earth, your root chakra card somewhere. Make sure your shit's grounded. Stay balanced. Stay in a loving vibration. And fire, which makes sense. It seems a lot of fire. You've got earth and fire. Just a lot of that. Fire, Solarius, sublime. We live in a dualistic world, bringing light and dark into balance and being real with our humanness can allow us to reach more joy. Authenticity. Okay, I just fucked that sentence up. Let me just say that again. We live in a dualistic world. Bringing light and dark into balance and being real with our humanness can allow us to reach more joy, authenticity, and depth. By accepting and loving all of ourselves as we are, we can extend more of this love and have greater compassion for others. This painting portrays the balanced dance of creation. As the dragons come together, they dissolve into one with all that is. In this place of coalescence, both sides fuse into oneness, not just as a re-emerging with the universe, but as an alchemical process of becoming the empowered, greater force we truly are. I think you're embarking on a journey to understand your power, and good fucking luck to you, because that is fire. Literally fire. Creation. Spirit. If you resonated with this video and you made it to the end, please, I would very much appreciate it if you could hit the like or comment or subscribe, leave me a note. Interacting with the content really does help me. Additionally, I have a shit ton of links in the description box below for all kinds of things. If you're interested in seeing what else I'm up to and what I've got going on, go ahead and check the box out. This is going to be the end of your reading. Overall, just make sure you stay balanced. You have what you want coming. Yeah, there's some fuckery going on, but you're being asked to maintain balance, keep your focus, stand your ground, don't let go of your vision, and reach for what makes you happy. See you next one. Bye, guys. Alright, pile 3. If you chose my wonderful jar of smudge ashes, then this is going to be your reading. Okay, so the general overall vibe I have for this group is that this group is a group of people who are seeking to create their own path in life, their own path to abundance, potentially through like entrepreneurship or creating a project of their own. And those people are struggling immensely with the idea that they are being left behind, they're taking too long, they feel left out, they feel discontent, they don't have the ideas figured out, they're not sure what to do next, like they can't even see anything that's being offered to them because they're so distraught over the concept of feeling like they've been left behind. There is an opportunity for clarity upcoming to you, and a clarity and wisdom for information regarding how to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and be independent and be solid and content and fulfilled and fiscally, financially set. There is a call for you to ensure that you are operating from a place of balance and to not be foolish. Like, there's a warning for you that you may foolishly try to jump into an endeavor that you have not yet thought through before you have this moment of clarity, because you feel like it's not happening fast enough. Yeah, that's what's here. That was actually really fast. Okay. We are moving at a record pace for you guys. I was gonna say before I started shuffling that, like, I feel the most tuned into this group versus the other two. The other two groups were kind of convoluted, and these cards also jumped out really fast too, so there's that. Messages coming through strong and clear. Yeah. There's a call. There's a spiritual call. For you to answer and a fresh new beginning. That's the Fool twice in your first pull. You do have a new beginning and a new adventure. You're just being asked to make sure that you're not jumping into it foolishly. It is arriving, though. Again, there's that feeling. That's the second Four of Cups. You've got the Four of Cups twice, the Fool twice. I've only pulled, what is that, 8, 9, 11 cards, and you've already got 2 duplicates out. Those are just keys to let me know what I need to emphasize. So for you guys, there is a call, there is an offer to you. You have been so discontent and so stuck in the energy of feeling left behind that you aren't able to see it. There is an opportunity for clarity coming for you. I would say it in this next cycle. Partnership. There's your fulfillment of wishes. And wow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 majors. Bottom of the deck, 6. Oh, sorry. Just realized that I called that card something different than what it is in a previous pile. Oh well. So you have, in this deck, it's truth, new beginnings, discontentment, embodiment, harmony, fulfillment of wishes, and wisdom. In traditional tarot cards, that is judgment, the Fool, the Four of Cups, the Lovers, the Nine of Cups, and the Hierophant. Bottom of your deck is the Hermit in reverse, and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Pentacles also being here with the Lovers card. Lovers aren't necessarily romantic in nature. Lovers are really, it's Gemini energy, it's options, it's choices, it's also partnerships. So there is a call for you to potentially come out of the Hermit reverse, come out of your solitude, come out of it, find partnership, find collaboration. There's an opportunity for you to do so. You don't have to do it by yourself. Your wishes are going to be fulfilled. You are on that path. You are on a journey of seeking higher knowledge. The knowledge is coming down to you. It's what is going to come when you answer the call, or in response to answering that call is a call for more wisdom. This wisdom is all going to lead you down the path of higher knowledge, understanding, and fulfillment of your wishes, including abundance, including fulfillment, emotional, material, mental, all of those things. Those are coming to you. This is a group of people who are for sure on a spiritual journey, probably relatively, I don't want to use the word advanced because I hate the idea of a hierarchy within spiritual concepts, but you've been walking the path for a while, I'd say, and you perhaps are kind of in this mode of feeling like, well, these people are getting this and I'm not getting that, and it's making you feel like unenthused, uninspired, and then you're in a cycle where you get stuck in your frustration with yourself, where you get sleepless and over the idea that you don't have these new inspired ideas that you feel like you should have by now, or the inspired ideas aren't coming to fruition. It's not working out, but it is going to. you're trapping yourself. It's coming. You just have to wait. Trust the timing is kind of what I'm hearing. Like, you will have a moment of clarity. You will have a fresh start. You've got an ace, which is a kind of new beginning card. You get 2 full cards. You definitely have this kind of fresh start on the way. I would say this eclipse season for you is probably going to be a portal for which you are able to gain the clarity you need. There's the Fool card again. And there's another Nine of Pentacles again. Clarity that you need in order to be able to embody and know and move the energy. And there's the Hierophant again. That's not a duplicate. Jesus. Sorry, I know it's offensive to a lot of people to say it, but Jesus. A lot of duplicates, guys. Okay, that's better. Alright. Queen of Wands, 7 of Wands, Fool again, reversed, 9 of Wands, Pentacles again, 9 of Pentacles, I'm sorry. The Star, the Hierophant again, and the High Priestess in reverse. Bottom of the deck is the 2 of Wands. So, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is I like to call her that bitch. Like, that's what I like to call her. She is this fiery, sexy, attractive, passionate, spiritually attuned. Like, she knows her creative power and she's doing it. She's a creator, right? Cool. You're being asked to embody that. In doing so, challenges are either currently or going to come. When that occurs, you're being asked to just stand your ground. It looks like a daunting amount of opposition, but it's not. You have the high ground. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. You also are being asked in that same way to uphold and keep fighting your like internal spiritual battle. And I feel like battle's the wrong word. Like, your ascension process. Keep going. You're so fucking close. Don't, again, be foolish. You have the Fool in reverse again. The Fool in reverse is either a fear to take a jump or it's the warning to not be foolish. Because of the clarifiers, I'm going to go with a warning not to be foolish. In this particular instance, you have to uphold. Again, you have 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. This is about standing your ground and staying vigilant, right? It's going to work out. We have the 9 of Pentacles again. This is the pre-Empress card. This is the Empress before she's the Empress. This is the embodiment of a woman who is self-sufficient, self-reliant. She's content by herself. She needs nothing. She takes care of herself. She's happy. You can find her in a garden with a bird just hanging out, living her best fucking life. Okay, cool. And the card that's clarifying that is the Star card, which is all about hope. Like, you have hope for this vision and it is coming to you. That's really not a concern. The only issue is that in your quest for higher knowledge, you want to make sure that you are looking at your intuition too. It's not just external, it's internal as well. Make sure that you are doing both in balance, right? You want to make sure that you're keeping everything aligned, everything in balance, and that while you seek higher knowledge outside of yourself through YouTubers, through books, through podcasts, through whatever it is that you're listening to, consume, other people, your own guides, gurus, and teachers, that you are also listening to your own intuition. There is an undercurrent as well of a desire to go out and take like an adventure, like to go and start a new thing, and you should do that. You should absolutely honor that and don't allow the opinions of others to dictate what you can or cannot achieve. Success is inevitable. You will be rewarded. You will be recognized. We have the Three of Pentacles again. The Ace of Swords again. More fucking duplicates. Reading, if you watch any of my other readings, this is, I'm reading at a rapid pace. Like, I don't usually read this fucking fast. It doesn't come to me this fucking quickly, and I'm not usually this fucking clear. These messages are so strong, though, that I don't even have to think about it. It's just my mouth is just moving, and I'm just here, being in a body with a mouth. That's the level that this is coming through right now. You're also being asked again to be patient and remain balanced again in this practice. I think balance has been a message for all three piles. There's always some overlap between all of the piles, and for this particular reading, it seems like balance is the overall message. You have the Sun card, which is about happiness. Again, it's more of this positive affirmation that the things you're looking for, your fulfillment, is indeed coming. You have this happiness on the way. Celebration, rejoice, Three of Cups. You have so much good energy coming. Just make sure that you're willing to stand your ground and have the strength. Power card, this is the strength card, to not fall into temptation. Don't let past karmic cycles hold you, or strangle your movement forward. As soon as I saw the Devil card, I got caught. I got caught in it. It was like, okay, fuck, I lost the flow. This should have taken me like 30 minutes, and it didn't. We're going right on to Oracle cards. Your reading's about to be short, but not because I'm not skipping out. It's just coming through real fast. I don't have to think about it. I mean, the overall message for you guys is that you're clearly feeling like you're not moving fast enough, or you're not getting the ideas or whatever, but like it's all legit as fuck. You and your loved ones are safe. It's all fine. I think, again, so that card I was talking to before about what coming back to about being left out in the cold, that's the Five of Pentacles card. It also insinuates the idea of lack, fiscal lack, financial lack. And this is an affirmation from your higher self, your guides, spirits, God, universe, whatever you believe in, that you and your loved ones are safe. It is going to work out just like you want it to. Fulfillment wishes are coming, and not to stretch yourself out, because that's just only going to work against you in the end, right? If you're feeling like that feeling of lack, if you're wanting, then you don't have. When you have, you attract. A win-win outcome is forecast. That is full moon in Libra. It's another card about balance. We already had the Two of Pentacles as well as Temperance. Now we have a full moon in Libra. It's more balance cards, making sure that you're good, making sure you're balanced. You are enough. Anything that you're doing to compare yourself to another person, feeling again like somebody's doing something that you think you should be doing, or that why isn't that happening to me, da 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 da. You are good enough. You are exactly who you're supposed to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. It's working out like it's supposed to work out. The energy is gaining momentum. Like, this train is already rolling. Don't even question it. Like, you're fucking good. Maybe you won't get one of these. Oh, there we go. One more, thank you. I have unlimited potential and claim my purpose. All I need is within me. Again, you've already got it. Don't even worry about it. You also have, I celebrate my lineage and honor my ancestors. When I see cards like this, it always makes me think about ancestral healing, right? So we all carry around wounds. Okay, so when I see cards about lineage, I think about ancestral healing. Ancestral healing is basically the idea that your DNA is genetically encoded with the experience, memories, trauma, and lifetimes of those who share your genetic line. Now, your genetic line is not necessarily your, like, you're connected to everybody, right? Like, we're all connected. We have soul family. That doesn't necessarily have to be your lineage. Your lineage is just part of what you are here to heal in this lifetime. If you're on a healing journey, you have to heal not just your own trauma and your own karma, but you have to heal the karma and the trauma from your lineage, which low-key kind of sucks, but like that's what we're here to do. So like, it's a plus and minus. When you do the work of healing your ancestral trauma and helping the genetic line that you have incarnated into, this reading's getting very deep very quickly. I don't know why, but that's what we're here for, guys. When you do the work of healing not only your own trauma and your own issues, but the ancestral trauma that's genetically encoded in your DNA, you are greatly rewarded. Fulfillment of wishes. The universe, it's so much good karma to clear out a lineage like that and to heal a lineage like that. And when I see cards like I celebrate my lineage and honor my ancestors, honor them by digging into your ancestral trauma and healing what's encoded in you. That's a whole fucking bag. I don't have time to open today, but if you feel called, look into it. I'm going to pull you a couple of these cards. This is the Elemental Oracle. It has elemental archetypal energy with keywords on it. I will read the keyword and then just kind of ad-lib from there. You have desert solitariness. I didn't think that was a word. I'm going to look that up later because I feel like they made that up. Solitariness? Solitariness. I do think that... Is this the pile or was it the last pile? Nope, that was the last pile. Just kidding. Never mind. Wait. I don't fucking know. The piles are bleeding together. Again, the wisdom that you have is within you. If you aren't sure what to do, isolate. Just long enough. I think you guys are being called to come out of isolation and to seek partnership, but if you aren't sure, always go back to yourself. Oceans, bravery, and magic alchemy. Make sure you're brave enough to step out of your comfort zone to do what needs to be done. Again, don't be foolish, but feel the bravery, the strength, and the, where's it at? Come on, don't let me look stupid. Power to put forth your wishes and your desires. When this card came out, I immediately saw the Ancestor card in my mind's eye. And after I finished talking about that, I immediately wished I could help you know what ancestral trauma needs healing. And I think that's what this card is for intuitively. So we'll get to that in a second. First, these two. Strength. We already had strength. Double strength. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in the situation. Yeah, again, the other side's right there. You're stuck in this Nine of Swords energy, which is this like restless, anxiety-ridden, sleepless, blah, 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 blah energy. I'm sorry to downplay your whole fucking problem with la la la. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. But you're stuck in that energy, but like this is making you, this is emboldening you and giving you a place of recognition to know what you've learned, and it's going to help you along your path. You also have beloved. Prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. This is a twofold card. If you're in a relationship, you can expect love to kind of begin to return to it as you get over this hurdle. If you are not in a relationship, you might have one coming. Now, the Ancestor card. I don't know that's what this is for all of you, but for some of you, I very strongly believe it is. So it says, anger. Safely express your anger. Use anger as a positive force. Honor all of your emotions as sacred. There may be a lineage within you of anger expressed in a unsafe manner, violence, rage that may be running through your genetics, and you may be having struggles with that, being short-tempered or being upset or feeling like really reactive, and having an inclination towards perhaps an unsafe releasing of that energy via violence, something like that. This is not judgment. I am guilty of that same fucking thing, so like, it's good. You're good. You're safe here with me. No fucking judgment zone. But look into that perhaps as something that you want to start healing, so that you don't have to hold that anger, because the anger you're holding, ooh, it's heavy, and you don't even know how fucking, I'm about to cry. Oh, just hang on. That'll get it out. The weight of your anger is so fucking heavy, and you don't even realize how heavy it is until you start to take it off, and then you're like, oh my god, that's been weighing me down for forever, and then it feels fucking fantastic to get it out. I'm going to, lastly, your reading's been short and quick and fast paced, but that's what we're doing today, I guess. I'm gonna grab you one, maybe two of these. This is the Lemurian deck. It's the pocket size version, which I love because it has the shortened version of the interpretation written on the back, so I can just read it to you. I just started using these for a couple of readings that I did yesterday, and then I used them for the other readings today, and I have very much enjoyed it. Just one, or do we want two? I feel like two is the answer. Okay. You have two cards. One is Paradigm Shift, Air, and the other one is Furred and Feathered Friends. We'll read that one first because it sounds cute and I like it. It says, animals are intuitive, sacred beings and the wisdom keepers of many earth traditions. They are some of our most loving companions and have much to teach us. Yet the treatment of some species is appalling. As our empathy expands, we see other beings and the quality of their lives as interconnected and equal to our own. We may be inspired to align our actions with our compassion to minimize the harm we do to the planet and her inhabitants. This card also signifies energetic bonds. You may have a greater awareness of the wisdom of the animals you encounter and their meaning for you. Two things I have on that. One, if you aren't familiar with animal messages, I would do that. I think, I'm trying to, hold on. I'm going to tell you what's happening right now. Right now, I am about to leave town to go do something, which will be a bunch of projects. And I'm trying to film a bunch of videos really quickly this week. I think this video comes out directly after my Signs and Synchronicities video. And in that video, which I have yet to film, even though that comes next, in that video, I plan to talk about animals as messengers. So if you haven't seen that video, which theoretically, hopefully, is done and out, then you should maybe watch that. Additionally, if you have been feeling inclined or called to the practice of vegetarianism or veganism, this is just a confirmation that maybe that's a good idea for you. Please don't fucking come for me in the comments. I do not spout pro-vegan, vegetarian information, although I practice it 95% of the time. I occasionally eat dairy, but mostly vegan. I don't spout it. I don't preach it. However, if a card comes out, I'm gonna say, hey, looked into veganism because it makes me feel really good about my alignment with the planet and the animals around me. So maybe that might be something you would enjoy. Next card. Air, Paradigm Shift. This is a time of tremendous change, and the speed of our evolution is increasing exponentially. We can build energetic sovereignty. Oh, I love that phrase. Inspire others, connect dots, and receive and share the knowledge and tools we needed for transformation. As we wake up, we can't help but awaken those around us. It may start with an inquiry on what this fresh, new, and long-awaited breath is all about. An expansive being holds a tiny heart-shaped seedling. When the foundations we build on come from a place of love over fear, we will see huge positive changes in the world. We can start with ourselves. I do think that, like I said, when I first started this reading, I felt most aligned and most in tune with this group. I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that's because this particular group is on a relatively long-lasting spiritual journey, and that you are also probably seeding light in the world. As I said before, it looks like you guys are on the precipice of beginning a new cycle, and this card about paradigm shift and seeing the light, I think, is very, very relevant for the cycle that you are currently entering into, of shifting kind of your life and your outlook externally as well as internally in order to help seed more light. It doesn't require a lot. Any amount of light that you shed on anyone around you has massive positive changes to your immediate surroundings as well as the collective. So I, for one, will thank you for the work that you're doing. Very much appreciated. Thank you for helping out. It's fucking wonderful. And if you resonated with this video and you appreciated it, it means the world to me. If you can hit the like button, subscribe, comment, interact with it in some way, it really helps me, helps the algorithm. And additionally, I have a absolute fuck ton of links in the description box if you're interested in other things. I've got a podcast, I've got a private Facebook group where we have bi-weekly Zoom chats, I've got merch, I've got readings. You can book a reading with me. I am kind of blocked off for a while because I have a lot of projects going on right now, but you can book one for the future or whatever. I have links. There's stuff in the description box. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead and check it out. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. And I hope you have a wonderful fucking new moon. And thank you for coming to my video.